there, Benji. Hope you're having a great day today. Here's your video lesson. So here are two things I want to talk about. I'll go talk about those two things, and as usual, if you have questions from looking at anything at the end, feel free to shoot those on over, and I'll do my best to answer. So let's get to it. So thanks for seeing that video over. It's super helpful for me to see how the tune's coming along. Opening riff looks great. That's all looking really nice right there. One thing we want to watch out for, and you kind of mentioned it in your email, is that you got to work on your transitions between sections and making sure we're not speeding up. You have a little tendency to speed up on those downward chug on that part right there. What I would work on is, like you said, you already hit the nail on the head, is that you want to start working on stringing all the parts together. And there's no better way to do that than playing along with the recording. That would be my suggestion, is for that particular tune, go ahead and make sure you're playing along with the recording of the song. You can bump it down to like 90% or practice like just a small section transition, but I would start working on those transitions. Other thing I would work on too, and I think you already know how they go, are those all those hits for the breaking the law section, making sure those hits are accurate. I believe if I pull up the music here real quick, I'm sure I had this pulled up already. Let's see, breaking the law, tabs. There we go. And we'll do the rhythm parts. Where is it? That'll work. Yeah, so we have breaking the, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So making sure you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the and a 3 and a 4. That one more time, try not to mess up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. So I would like practice clapping it, practice doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Right, that's kind of the way I kind of approach learning like tunes that are pieces of music that are multi-voiced or polyphonic, is that I would practice just like one element of it and see if I can keep it going. Because I do this bum, 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 right? Like playing just that chug by itself, and then I would practice like the actual hit ba ba boo and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right? Can I play just the hits, or can I do just the chug? I think that would be a good way of kind of going about working on that section. Like I said, practice the recording. That's the assignment for this week. So I'd love it for next time if you come in and I'll just put the recording on the speaker and we'll just play all the way through. So work on that for me. Next is next is a preview of the next tune. We're going to do Any Way You Want It by Journey. Any way you want it, right? I'm not gonna say you can put the song up, but this one kind of has some cool like downstroke chugs. That's the reason why we're working on it, and it also introduces a little bit of what I call open power chords. Right, this is like the next step in rock and roll and metal guitar. In rock, hard rock, and metal guitar, they use these kinds of chords, so it's good for us to learn them. AC/DC made a career off of them. So with this one, you have your G5 power chord. It's how AC/DC gets that real big, bright sound on power chords that should be more chuggy and dark sounding. So if I put my fuzz on here, right, man, that is peppered all throughout rock and roll, man. It is on everything, including Journey right there, and Tool. This is like tonight, like if you see Tool, this is like tonight's brought to you by Tool. Rage Against the Machine. Right? They played the power chords down here. Alice in Chains. You know, name Soundgarden. They all play these open power. Nirvana, right? They all use this stuff. So it's good for us to know this. So the first one's going to be a G5 power chord. It's basically just a G chord without the pointer finger. And this is why in the beginning I said, hey man, it's important for us to know the open chords because they come back later on and are pretty important. Here we are. So you have your G chord, normally it'd be like this. See that pointer finger off. It's a subtle difference. It's a subtle difference. Then you have your A5, which you can do your pyramid finger. You take your pointer finger and you hyperextend the tip joint. You put that on strings 3 and 4. You're going to point at yourself. Right? Tip of your fingers and point at yourself. So it's angled this way. See how steep I have that pyramid over here? So pyramid finger, hyperextend tip joint. Bring that over, pointing at myself. Right? That's your A5. That little line hooking over top of the tab right here in the chord diagram, that's the bar symbol. B-A-R-R-E. Going to go to a D5, basically a D chord without the middle finger, and then E5. Like I said, these are all related to those open chords we talked about at the very beginning, and I said they're going to come back. Here's one place where they come back, and then definitely going to come back again later on when we're trying to get across the fretboard doing some pretty cool chord shapes. So like I said, the first thing I would do with these is just memorize them. Can you play a G5 on and off, and then can you get a partial power chord bar on and off the guitar? And then we will do the right? All those great rock songs, that's what they're using. That's how they make that big sound. Awesome, man. So work on those. We'll finish up Breaking the Law, and then we'll get into a little bit of Journey, a little bit of AC/DC, a little bit of Rage coming down the pipeline. Awesome, man. All right, have a great rest of your week. I'll see you next time. Bye.